Wait for that camera to stop shaking. I know it's shaking for a minute. Just bear with me, guys. I have to do a few things before I start today. Before I start tonight. The topic for tonight is bullying, childhood bullying. I'm first going to start off by saying I'm not a medical professional by any means. This is not a therapy session. If you feel like you need more help than I can give you, seek medical attention. Like I said, I am not a doctor by any means. So if you feel you need more help than this show can give you, seek out a medical professional. If you feel like you are unsafe tonight, seek out a medical professional. Or if you can't do that, seek out a friend. But yeah, so today's topic is childhood bullying. And it's going to talk about my life and my childhood bullying and about bullying today. And the difference between bullying back in my time and the bullying of today. Once again, I apologize for the shaking of my camera. I don't have a tripod. I have this thing I bought from Five Below, which has a clip. It can almost like a desk lamp that clips onto like a desk with one of those bending necks. And that's what I have, and it's for a phone to clip onto something with a bendy neck. But for some reason, it rocks back and forth from time to time. The slightest bump of my desk, it will rock. So I'm actually I sit back like this, away from my desk so I don't touch it. Oh, actually, I have to get into my, my own account because I need to see if anybody's chatting or anything. So let me do that real quickly, and then we can talk about the childhood bullying. But just give me 1 second. I don't want to miss anybody if anybody's chatting. But give me 1 second. I should be able to... I am live, right? Yeah, I'm live. Okay. Oh, here we go. That's why. Okay, good. I'm good to go. Okay. I need to do one thing, which will take 2 seconds. Just have to step over here and get a light, because you see all the pink behind me. It's not really pink. I have black lights in my room, and I don't like a lot of light. I get migraines. I suffer from chronic pain in my body as well, which I'm not going to talk about because I can talk about that another day. That can be another topic. So I was told by a doctor that this type of lighting helps. But for when I need to read my notes, I need a light. So I'll be right back. Give me 1 sec. Okay, I'm back. That's all it took, was 1 second, and I'm back. Because I got this little lantern thing here. And it will help me to see a little better what I'm doing. Okay, so like I said, if this doesn't help you in any way, and you feel like you don't feel safe, please seek out medical attention. I am not, once again, I repeat, I am not a medical professional. So that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, this is a place, I'm telling you my experiences in hopes that you can share your experiences. This is a place for you to share everything that you feel like sharing. And one thing, you know, people are really rude today. So, don't feel broken. People are rotten. So don't feel broken in any way. People make people feel broken. Just because they have something different. Like, I mean, a lot of people feel like, oh, well, this person, it makes the other person feel good, the bully. It makes them feel good when they can pick on you. Because they're just doing that because they have things that they are not happy with themselves about, or they have issues that aren't resolved, and that's why they do that. Now, when you're a child, though, it's really hard to see that because your mind doesn't, it's still developing your brain. And when I was in 5th grade, I was bullied on the playground by a kid named Otis Lucas. But it wasn't just him. There was Tony Pamel, Ryan Nebulous, David Merlo, Chad. I could keep going on and on about all these kids. But what I used to have to do was, I would have to go into the, when I was in 5th, well, from grades 2nd through 5th is when you had recess. I had to, literally, when I go out, I would stay with the aide. Because back when I had school, I don't know what it's like today. When you were in grade school, you went out for recess and you played on the playground. And there was like, well, usually two aides or one aide, but I think it was usually like 1 or 2. And then they blow the whistle, they get everybody, line them up and put them in. And if anybody was doing anything bad, they would stop it. So I tried to hover around them, but it wasn't as easy as you would think. This kid, Otis Lucas, I was body slammed in like 4th grade, and it hurt. And I didn't think, I don't know how the kid did it. I mean, to tell you the truth, because that kid literally took his hands, I'm going to move back, took his hands and went, so he took me from down and went, and threw me over his back, and I landed on my back. It took all the wind out of me. And, I mean, I was, and the bullying was so bad, I got sick to my stomach in the morning before I had to go to school. And then I ended up having to see a psychiatrist and a psychologist because I was getting severely sick to my stomach, and it was all psychological because of the fear of going to school. And I mean, today, oh my God, I can't believe what the kids have to go through today. I mean, what I went through as a kid was horrible, was absolutely horrible. I mean, I don't know if it's, they say it's worse for today's kids, but when I was a kid, I didn't see commercials on TV that said, like, I saw a commercial the other day, it said something about, it was on either NBC or ABC or CBS. It was on demand, and when I was watching it, it was like, I think it was the peacock. So I don't know if that's CBS or ABC. And it said, ding, 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 the more you know. So whatever channel the more you know is. And they do this little thing before your show comes on demand. And it said, the more you know. And it's like, sticks and stones may break your bones. And it's like, but then it was saying like, because back when I was a kid, they say sticks and stones will break your bones, but words may never hurt. And they were saying on this NBC or whatever channel, like saying, no, words do hurt. And it's like, when I grew up, no, I was told, no, words don't hurt. Don't worry if they're bothering you or picking on you. Just be the bigger man and don't just let it roll off your back. Well, now the kids today, they don't have that. I mean, they got so many advocates for cyberbullying. But, I mean, I hear it's a lot worse. But I went through a big ordeal. I knew this kid when I was in 2nd grade, and I think he stayed until 3rd grade in the school district I was in. He had a lot of mental issues as well, worse than I did at the time. And what he did was, I had, see, my family came from money. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that. I mean, that's just how I grew up. And his family, he lived in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, and I understand. And his parents went through. His parents had divorced, and he was living just with his mom. And I don't even think he knew where his dad was. I don't even think his mom wanted him to know where his dad was. I think the mother beat him. So, but he turned on me. We were like best friends, doing everything together, and he turned on me. And when he would get mad, and I knew this. This kid scared me. I always said when I was back in like 3rd grade, I was afraid the kid was going to kill me. And I even said this. I mean, he threw rocks at cats. He lit small fires. He actually pushed me into where he lived, his apartment complex. They have one of these dumpsters, but you throw your trash in and you can push a button, and then the thing goes like that. The thing's like this. This is a dumpster. In here is all your trash. And he pushed me in there. And what happens is, every hour or so, or whatever the timer is, the thing goes and crushes all the trash and backs up. Or you can throw your trash in and just hit the button and it'll do it. Well, he pushed me in there. I was freaking out. Like, I finally got out and the thing didn't turn on and he didn't push the button, but he was pretending to. He's like, I'm going to push the button on you. I mean, the kid was very disturbed. I mean, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, I'm not trying to, like, put it on him. He had a lot of reasons to be disturbed with everything with his family life. But it's sort of, he kept taking it to the next level. He would ring my doorbell, my parents' doorbell, and run away. He would call, my mom would come out of the house and be like, I see you. And he'd be like, fuck you, bitch. I'm talking somebody that's like 8 years old, 10 years old maybe. And I mean, back then, like 1991, you don't, a kid that's like 8 or 9 does not speak like that to an adult. Today's kids, yeah, they'll speak like that to an adult. Back in my generation, that was unheard of. You did not speak to your elder that way. And I still, to this day, don't speak to elders that way because of the way I was raised. Back in the 80s and 90s, that's how people were raised. Not saying anything wrong. I'm not saying anything against the millennials. I'm just saying that's how I was raised. But I was in, my parents had a tree house they bought me. It was like one of those playground places where like they sell jungle gyms and people buy them and put them on their property. I don't think, and so my parents got me one, and when I was a kid, and it had like a, some of them nowadays have like rainbow color roofs that are made out of like some type of, not plastic, but some type of like material. Mine was just like a yellow roof. Well, what he did was, he knew that I was in there, and I didn't know he was outside, because I was up there, and I think it was because he got mad, because the day before, I was supposed to hang out with him, and I forgot, and he was yelling at my mom, saying, I know he's up in that treehouse. I know he's up in that treehouse. You're lying to me. And my mom's like, no, I'm sorry, he's not here. He's out with a friend. So he got really, I think he had a lot of emotional issues. He tried to burn down the treehouse with me in it, with a gas can and matches. And after that, he was taken away, and he actually never came back to the school. And I mean, he was a danger to himself and others. So it was really sad. But I mean, I was picked on. And that's one of the stories that I can tell you that I was picked on. When I was in 8th grade, I finally felt like, okay, I have a group of friends. Some kids took interest in me. And it was the in crowd. And here I've been going through school since 1st grade all the way up to 7th grade and having no friends, being made fun of, picked on. Now 8th grade rolls around and people want to hang out with me. Well, they really only wanted to hang out with me because they knew my parents had money, and they knew that I was on a medication for ADHD, which was called Ritalin. And so here I think these kids are my friends, and it almost makes me want to cry. I was so upset when it happened. I really thought they liked me. And they came over. My mom and dad ordered pizza, went up to their room, left us out. We were out on our patio and the deck. They were drinking a couple beers, which was okay. We were teenagers. I didn't drink though, but they did. And that was all fine. What wasn't fine was I had to go to the bathroom, and they saw my mom take out my medicine before she went up for bed. She took out my Ritalin, and they saw where she got it from the cupboard with the glasses where we drink our drinking glasses. And when I went to the bathroom, they took the bottle and they emptied all the pills and put the bottle back empty. And then after that, they started to get antsy, like, oh, we're going to get going soon. And then they took like a 6-pack of beer out of the fridge as well with them. My mom said, Brian, what'd you do with your Ritalin? Where is it? I'm like, what do you mean? Because my parents dished out my pills. And my mom's like, oh my God, you were taken advantage of. They took advantage of you. And my mom was upset. She was furious. And I felt so depressed. I felt like it just was horrible. I felt like I had friends. And people that have friends, even if you have like 2 or 3 good friends, you really don't know what it's like to not have friends. It's very sad. It's very lonely. I have one very good friend. I speak to him just about every day. If I didn't have him, I'd be probably not in a really good place because I'd be very lonely. And then when my parents go, and I don't even like to think of that, but I'm 40, they're in their 70s, my dad's getting ready to hit 70, my mom's 65, so I know how quick my 20s went, 20 to 40, another 20 years from now, they're not going to be around. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have that friend. I do have a sister, but it's still, friends are so important, and I just didn't have any. Then when I was in 8th grade, after this whole ordeal went down, then when I was in 8th grade, every time I would do anything, I would get attacked in the hallways. Either I'd be pulled, my backpack would be pulled, and granted, when I was in middle school, I weighed 153 pounds. I was like one of the smallest kids in school, the scrawniest. Look at me today. I'm a whale now. I mean, but I would be I couldn't even go to the cafeteria in middle school because I once tried to go down a back stairwell, and I gotta watch my language. These people, these assholes is all I'm gonna call them because I don't want to curse them too much. These asshole kids thought, like, hey, we're gonna jump them in the stairwell, because it was a back stairwell. It wasn't one that's mainly used, but it was a shortcut to get to the cafeteria. So they decided to try and jump me, and they were jocks, and I was not. So I pulled out pepper spray, which my mom had told me to carry, because my mom was worried that these kids were going to beat me to death into a coma, because I had been beaten up and ended up in the hospital at one point. And I think I got a broken arm from it. But back then, they didn't do things like you call the cops. Kids just got suspended, you know, not even expelled. So I brought pepper spray, and I sprayed the shit out of those guys. And those kids were so not expecting that. And you know, I got in trouble for that, believe it or not. The school suspended me as well. They said it was a weapon I was bringing in, pepper spray. So, but I only got like one day of in school. They all the people that were attacking me, they got like a month of out of school suspension, because they were the ones that were attacking me. But they said they had to give me the 1 day of in school just because they needed to. They couldn't show favoritism or leniency, because that was what they said. Whatever. So, but I mean, I had that happen to me. Give me 1 second, guys. I just have to look over some notes of mine that I have here. Oh, yeah. I had a kid. This was back probably when I was in grade school. I had a kid. His name was Matthew. His name was Matthew Royal. He lived a couple houses down. And you know, he lived right up the street. I thought he was my friend. But what happened was, we were outside one day and his parents weren't home. And he starts to pee outside. And he starts peeing on his brother. And I'm like, what the fuck you doing? And I'm like, ew, that is sick. That's gross. You're messed up. And then he goes and he starts to try to pee on me. And I'm like, okay, that's enough. I mean, and so that I consider still bullying. And it wasn't just that I was afraid of getting bullied in school. I didn't want to go on the school bus because I was bullied on the school bus. I was punched in the stomach on the school bus. And my one good friend that I'm still friends with, he actually helped me with jogging my memory of some of these events, like getting punched in the stomach on the school bus. I totally forgot about that because it happened when I was in grade school, and I'm going to be 40, so that's like my memory's shot from way back when. I have all my memories, but like that was something I totally had forgotten about. And yeah, his name was Brian Cheadle, and my name was Brian Murray, and that was the difference. But anyway, oh yeah, and then so that's basically it. I did unfortunately start to fall behind in my classes because of the bullying. I wasn't able to focus. I just wasn't able to stay focused. And on the bus, you know, the bus was a big ordeal. I eventually had my mom drive me every day to school. And I would get teased in swimming class. So I got my mom to write a note, and I got out of every swimming class throughout my high school years and my we even had it in grade school. Grade school and middle school, we had swimming. One of the few states that has it in grade school. But we did. And I got out of it in everyone. Because the kids would make fun of me. And I wasn't fat. They'd make fun of me because they could see my ribs and my bones. And they would just say because I was a toothpick. And then the infamous, Mr. Glacken, my bagel's on fire. I heard that from 6th grade all the way up to 8th grade. I burnt a bagel in the toaster and it caught fire. Well, what happened was the bagel was in a toaster oven. Every Friday, our teacher let us bring bagels in, and we could eat in one of our periods. We could eat a bagel with cream cheese. Well, I put my bagel in the toaster oven, and when I went to get it out, I used a paper towel because it was hot. But if you know what a toaster oven is, it's not like a regular toaster. So when I put it in, it must have touched a hot coil, and the paper towel caught fire. I quickly threw it into the sink, but I was like, "Oh my God, Mr. Glacken," to my teacher, and everybody then was mimicking me all the way up, even into like 9th grade. I kept hearing, "Mr. Glacken, is my bagel on fire?" I mean, I just kept getting bullied and bullied and bullied. And today, the kids are, you know, they have it, I think they have it so much worse. They get bullied at school, then the cyberbullying. They get bullied at home, on their computer, their phones. You know, I couldn't imagine that. I mean, I did get bullied a lot. I mean, all the time I was bullied. But nothing like the kids today. The kids today are so harsh. And there's like body images the girls have today. They have to be like these petite supermodels. Like, come on, you don't have to do that. I mean, one of my nieces was on a paleo diet. What the hell's a paleo diet? Well, I looked it up. It's a caveman diet. It's what cavemen used to eat. Like, literally. I don't think that's healthy for somebody that's under the age of, like, 15 to be eating when your body's starting to develop and you're starting to grow and your brain's developing. You know, but that's here nor there. I don't even want to go into a topic like that because it has to do with something I'm not really comfortable talking about. It's a personal issue. But anyway, I've been streaming now, and I'm thankful for everyone that's come in to watch. But I do want to go. It's getting a little late for me. You can catch me. I'll send out a link on Twitter and Discord, and on Twitch when I am going live next. I'll go live tomorrow again. I'm not sure the time yet, but just check in to see. And I'll talk to you guys later. And once again, let's just say this. I like to say the Serenity Prayer. It's a good prayer to say at the end of a chat, a stream. So it goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God's will, not ours, be done. Keep coming back. It works if you work it, so work it because you are damn sure worth it. Okay, alrighty guys. Well, you guys all have a great night. Bye.